congregational development, and he is preaching all over the world, mostly in China, USA, Europe. So he's going to start the presentation, and Rasamai Matai is going to introduce him.
Hare Krishna. So Chaitanya Avatari Prabhu, he's been a congregation preacher for more than 33 years. He's helped build Vaishnava communities all over the world. He's built a temple and Vaishnava community in Bangalore. He travels and preaches in many parts of the world, especially USA, Europe, Australia, China, and many other countries, as Sevaswarup Prabhu mentioned. He is also the member of GBC Organizational Development Committee. He's a Global Duty Officer for Information Technology and Congregation Development. He is the member of ISKCON Bharat Advisory Committee, convener IBAC Congregation Development Committee, member of Global Bhakti Vriksha Research and Development, senior Bhakti Vriksha coach in Congregational Development Ministry. He is the Regional Secretary Assistant for Karnataka, and he is the General Manager for ISKCON Magadi Main Road.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, good evening, everyone. I'm not anyway qualified to give this presentation, but I just heard Jayapataka Maharaj is coming on his way to give this presentation, and it would be best when you hear from him, who has been into congregation preaching for many years. However, just not to waste time, I thought I'll just start off something. And it specifically covers, being many of the leaders are there, I just want to cover some of this very important strategy what CDM has developed. I'm sure that would be helpful, which I've been going around and training people and implementing them in different parts of the world. I thought that would be useful for all of you. So, as all ISKCON leaders, we all know that congregation is starting from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As we know that Lord Nityananda and Srila Haridas Thakur was personally pressed into congregation service by Lord Sri Chaitanya. Go to everyone's house, knock at everyone's door, and make them chant, request them to chant Hare Krishna. So that's a glorious beginning of our congregation movement. And of course, after their pastime, there is a lull. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur revived this whole congregation again. And as we know that from the works of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is actually pioneered in bringing up and reviving this congregation preaching in the form of Namhata preaching. He established more than 500 Namhata centers all over Bengal and Orissa and many places. And not only that, he has given many guidelines as to how the congregation is to be planned, developed, and expanded. So that's again a basic foundation for our congregation development, because that's foundational ideas, because there's many works like including Gotharma Kalpatavi, which congregation development ministry has come out with a specific work of Bhaktivinoda Thakur that gives a lot of foundational ideas and how this whole congregation development is built, and give many sutras, formulas, that how we can plan and expand and maintain the congregation. And post that, obviously, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was taken very seriously about this congregation development. That we see that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur established many Gaudiya Maths, many parts of India, printing presses, and also sent a couple of sannyasis world over to establish congregation teaching and establish Vaishnava teachings. And post that, obviously, our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, he envisioned that how congregation development is going to be the future, and personally instructed many of his followers. And one of that wonderful example, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj was personally sharing this, that how when he was on a morning walk in Los Angeles, he stopped in front of a church and said, in the future, you would be like this. We will have more congregation members who would come to the temple on weekends and festival days. So this is some kind of vision, which is in early 70s. This is what Srila Prabhupada's instruction and vision, which is shared to His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. And rightly so, we see that there's a huge expansion of congregation in India and all over the world. This is one of our, many of you know, this is very clear that this is our annual Navadip Mandal Parikram Sammelan, that so many thousands of devotees gather and to visit the holy places in Navadip Dham. So that's Prabhupada's vision. And congregation ministry want to take that vision to ensure that there's a consistency in terms of reaching every nook and corner of the world. And we see that we have literally earlier times, that at least in India, we had congregation Namahattas, and later on that for the urban population that we introduced Bhakti-Viksha programs almost 32 years back. Now it's kind of a normal program. When any program which is not done in ISKCON temple, if it is small groups, it is Bhakti-Viksha. Earlier it used to be Namhatta, but now it's more structured. The small groups, they can very nicely offer care, love, and give personal attention for everyone to grow. So we have been testimony for this for many years. I was very few to be trained earlier in 1995. And I'm experiencing this wonderful journey of Bhakti-Viksha. We see the thousands of devotees have come to this process feeling nicely cared for. This is the real mode of Srila Prabhupada. So that's how we have been expanding in every nook and corner of the world. And I don't know whether some of your family, any of your members are here. This is last year in two places in Italy. This is in Villa Vrindavan, Florence. Anybody from Florence? You're there? Okay. And that was in Torino. There's a place called Torino. So there's a lot of Bhakti-Vikshas happening there in Italy, and couple more places in Italy and also in Europe. So what we have done so far in terms of our current times and what we achieved, that from last 20 to 30 years time period, that we see congregation, especially Bhakti-Viksha, there are more than 500 thousands of Bhakti-Vikshas in Russia, also in China. China not in those terms of numbers, but there are many of them taking up this process because there are no temples, there is no freedom, but there is a real nourishment for them to be Krishna conscious through these small groups, even though we may not have the same level of Krishna conscious openly, but then there are many of them, they're taken up to Krishna consciousness. As we know that more than 90 to 95% of the population is ISKCON devotees who live outside temple. So we require a strong connection, strong support system, which Congregation Development Ministry is offering over many years. Of course, Namhatta has hundreds and thousands of members, especially in Bengal, Bangladesh here and also in Orissa. So now the question is that we are in a fast space, we are just developing in so many areas. How we also have to match pace with that growth. We're all talking about so many technologies, and all of us are used to it now. That thanks to COVID, that many people who are not even used to sit in front of laptops, they become online preachers, and we need to support them in so many ways in terms of training, what to do, what not to do. So we have a lot of support and training for those people, those devotees who want to actually take over this process. And we largely involved in those real-time training when COVID time was going on. But now we need to see going forward, how do we expand? So as Congregation Development Ministry, this is something which we've been rolling this. We rolled this out maybe 7 years back. This is called 6C strategy. Earlier, 10, 15 years back, we used to call three-step Vamanadev approach, contact, cultivate, and care. But now Jayapataka Maharaj gave more inputs, and based on that, we developed the strategy. Last 7, 8 years, we've been running this strategy globally. This is fundamental for any yatra. This is actually a one-day training session, especially this. Worldwide, we run this training, which will actually help you to assess where you are actually in terms of your expansion or how you're operating in your congregation development. So you just first see this is very important. Contact, get in touch with the member. It may sound very easy, very simple, but then if you don't have members, we want to do an organized preaching. We require people. Now, typically what happens when we introduce Bhakti Viksha programs, we said that anyone can walk in anytime to Bhakti Viksha programs. But then later on, many of the people, when they start coming, they also dropping out. So we want to arrest that. So we developed this kind of strategy that we want to help develop this contact systematically so that the members dropping out in between is stopped. So we introduced a concept called Manjari. Bhakti Viksha is typically just for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. But this Manjari program, which is just 45 minutes an hour. Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai. You want to see? Okay. So as part of this strategy, that there is a lot of emphasis given on the first C, because when we know somebody or friends or relatives, we welcome to a program because we are obligated, because of their friendship, they come for the program, but after some time, they have no interest in Krishna consciousness. So we want to emphasize the point that there is contact development, because how much time they're ready to give for Krishna consciousness. If we don't assess and if we call them for the program, you'll also get frustrated and they'll also get frustrated. So we designed this concept of Manjari 7, 8 years back, or maybe 10 years, near about 10 years back. So where we call anybody who are ready to spend 15 to 20 minutes initially. If somebody comes and talks to you, or they come to the temple and they stay for 15, 20 minutes, they are good. If they're staying for 10, 15 minutes, we are just asking to double the time. Somebody staying for 10, 15 minutes, we want them to extra spend that 10-15 minutes by our intervention. So those are the people who actually, we are taking them to the contact development process where we'll introduce them to a small 1-hour program, and they're very comfortable. There is not much interaction. Give some concepts of Krishna consciousness, talk about Gita overview. Many of such Manjari programs we have developed. Anybody interested, we can actually specifically for yatras or temples, we can offer that solution separately. But overview that we have Gita Manjari, Tulsi Manjari, Gita learning program, Yoga Manjari. Then this Yoga Manjari is very popular in Europe and China. Many yoga centers, they adopt. Those who come for the yoga, they're already sattvic, they can adopt. So introduction of a little bit of Krishna consciousness. And within 6 months' time, there are many of them, they want to come to mainstream Bhakti Viksha program. So that's how this strategy is built. Contact, cultivate, introduce them to small groups, let's congregate. Commitment, help them identify more time for Krishna consciousness. Gradually take them through different levels. They start chanting 1 round, 2 rounds. So continuously with the guidance, they grow up. And of course, those who have reached the stage for studying Krishna consciousness, the 6th stage where we are talking about complete perfection. They have 9 stages of bhakti. They follow with the support of the scriptures, Guru, Sadhana, and Shastra, and they can attain perfection. So this is what is the strategy. But there's a lot of components discussed, a lot of group work, training. This is a 1-day training session we offer. This is actually once you start interacting that, you have to have regular members. So we churn through the 6C strategy, contacts, you cultivate them through the filtration process, they congregate, and actually many contacts may be there, but at the time when you see how many of them attain perfection is few, but we are instrumental in helping them out through this strategy. So this is something, and self-assessment at the end of the training, the yatras, the temples can do this assessment. And if you saw the funnel there, to this funnel, this is a standard funnel. As against that, you have 4 different versions here. Completely narrow, anemic, the whole system is weak. There is no contact, there is no development, there is no cultivation, there is no congregation. What are you going to do? So then we have a problem on hand. So CDM can offer some help. How do you do that step by step? Top heavy, there's a lot of contacts. There is no cultivation, congregation, because we don't have a system. So because of that, it stays as it is. That we have, though, a lot of contacts, but we are not getting churned there. The third one, it's bottleneck. There is no contact, but there's a lot of senior devotees in the temple yatra. Senior devotees, no engagement. So the top is dry. There's no contacts there. And of course, the last one is no new contacts, no committed souls, but cultivable souls are plenty. So in between, this is blotted up. So obviously, it shows there's no new contacts and there's no people and the senior experienced devotees to help them out. So we can assess this and help you a solution. Yeah, this is exactly what we do. Develop outreach strategies and systematically collect and categorize contacts, establish a follow-up programs and structured training, because when after the categorization is done, that we help you to teach you that what exactly you do as a follow-up, what do you speak and how do you get to them to a follow-up. So all those things is part of this strategy. Build strong system of care. Of course, it's supposed to be a 7C because care is embedded in the whole 6C strategy. So we're not consciously added that, but care is involved in everything. And of course, now that we have technology solution to reach far and wide, because in many places we can't travel, people can't come, but still we offer some technology solutions that many places they can't come. So we also have some online training programs offered. Of course, this is only specifically tailored for the leaders who are identified by the local zonal authority, so that everything is kind of funneled properly through the authorized representations. Of course, this is a GBC resolution which talks about double the congregation annually. There's a GBC resolution talks about in 1996 that every year the congregation in each temple can be doubled if we follow the right strategies. So what we as CDM offer, Bhakti Viksha, we have small structured groups for systematic spiritual growth. We have support modules, manuals, and training for leaders, supported by experienced Bhakti Viksha coach. This is for implementation support. Those who really want to actually implement successfully Bhakti Viksha, we offer this specific solution, because earlier they come, people get trained, and they go start, and they say it is not working. So to avoid all that, and we have a support system available. That if you, any of the yatras you want that this Bhakti Viksha to be successfully implemented, we can get in touch with us. We'll give you a complete solution. But we require some kind of an understanding so that both are win-win. Good, my yours, Susan.
We have video on joy groups.
Video of Manjari group. No.
Right.
Some videos of Manjari group.
Sorry?
Some videos of Manjari groups.
Videos, I need to check. You have? I have. Right now, I don't have the time, so. But I can share. I can share. Some things are there because, we have varieties of them because it's all half-an-hour program, but we can send to Seva Swarup to be posted in the WhatsApp group. So again, the resources for congregation development, there is Bhakti steps, because those yatras who are not using the small groups program, but still they want your congregation, the members, to systematically grow. There are Bhakti steps. This is a wonderful system where each member's progress is measured based on how many rounds they chant, what are the small books of Srila Prabhupada they have been systematically reading. So based on that, they can commit to different levels of certification. So that's what we call Bhakti steps. You have website, dedicated website, sadhana apps for, you can enter your sadhana and you see that how you're doing, etc. And self-evaluation tools. Then Bhakti homes, training materials and home preaching guides. Earlier we used to call Shraddha Kutir, that any house that there are more than 2-3 members are already Krishna conscious, started taking up the Krishna conscious. There's certification. Also, there are some guidelines how you can make your home Bhakti home. So that's also available as a support from CDM. Bhakti Viksha, as I said, there are manuals, different user guides, and of course, coach support is available for all of you. Bhakti Kids, this is again a very powerful, popular program now. There are a lot of activity books, games, and other teacher resources. These are some of the resources which you get from CDM. Srila Prabhupada's vision, home as a temple. Everyone can establish a small temple in this house. So this is exactly Srila Prabhupada's vision, that every home can be a nice Krishna conscious home. Every member in the family can also be brought into Krishna consciousness. Empowering families to lead local programs, because if one member in the family come to Krishna consciousness, it's very easy that they can become a nice Krishna conscious family. Bhakti homes, they can also replicate by sharing their experience to neighbors, friends, relatives, etc. Of course, fulfilling Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission through this household outreach, because as we mentioned, that many of us are grihasthas. That's very easy to reach, friends, relatives, neighbors. If I can practice, we give the feeling that you can also practice. That's the kind of a feeling that we can offer for our friends, relatives, neighbors, so they can also take up this process. Congregation preaching is dynamic and ever expanding, because we're seeing that systematically ISKCON has grown, the congregation has grown. Every devotee can contribute through different initiatives. Actually, CDM is supporting all your wonderful ideas, initiatives, that if you are running some successful programs, stay in touch with us. We'll see how we can channelize that, how we can support you. If it is a nice, interesting program, we can promote and help you support and develop that, because at the end of the day, a CDM's objective is to expand preaching unlimitedly. So with Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we can spread Krishna consciousness worldwide. Great opportunity for everyone to become dear to Lord Gauranga. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Mike.
Vaishnavadaya
Bhutale
Srimate Bhaktivedanta
Swamin Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi
Gauravani Pracharine
Nivishesha Sunyavadi
Paschatya Deshatarine.
So I thank Chaitanya Avatari for a wonderful presentation.
So I thank Chaitanya Avatari for his wonderful presentation.
I'm late because I have a leg infection. I have to put me on intravenous.
I came late because I have cellulitis on my leg and they have put me on antibiotics.
So he has mentioned Bhakti Vriksha,
So he has mentioned Bhakti Vriksha.
one of our also big processes is the Namhat.
So one of our big processes is Namahata.
That's a large group
That's a large group
and a speaker.
and a speaker.
Bhakti Vriksha is a small group
But if it is a small group,
and everybody gets a chance to participate.
but if it's a small group, then everybody gets a chance to participate.
So we have covered the whole eastern region with Namhat.
So we have covered whole of Bengal.
Eastern region.
Okay, so we have covered the whole of eastern region with Namahata.
Yeah. But some places in the cities, they do the Bhakti Vriksha.
But some places, mainly in the cities, they do Bhakti Vriksha.
Bhakti, you don't get a big halls in the city.
Because we don't get big halls in the cities.
But His Holiness, Lord Krishna Swami, he made ashray groups.
But His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj made ashray groups,
Which are like Namhat in the city.
which is like Namahata in the city.
To make a Namhat in the ashray group, you have to find a building that has a big hall.
If you want to have a Namahata or an Ashray group, then you need to find a building which has a big hall.
Anyway, like that, the CDM, the Congregation Development Ministry, is open to new ideas.
So like this, the Congregational Development Ministry is open to new ideas.
If you have any new ideas, please write them down to Seva Swarup.
If you have any new ideas, you can write them down and give it to Seva Swarup.
A few days ago, someone suggested that CDM should have a program for the hostels who want to form a congregational farm.
A few days ago, someone suggested that the Congregational Development Ministry should have a program for someone who wants to develop a farm.
And several group of hostels might like to have a varnashram farm or some kind of farm.
Several groups of grihasthas may want to have a varnashrama farm or some kind of a farm.
That's just a suggestion we got.
That's one of the suggestions that we got.
So if you have any suggestion on new areas, you can share it.
So if you have any suggestion of new areas, then you could share that.
I mean, in the time of Lord Chaitanya, there were only about 3 brahmacharis.
In the time of Lord Chaitanya, there were only about 3 brahmacharis.
Now we have more.
Now we have more.
But everyone was a grihastha.
Everyone was a grihastha.
So he engaged them in different kinds of sankirtan and devotional service.
So he engaged them in different kinds of sankirtan and devotional service.
So we want that everybody should be engaged.
So we want that everybody should be engaged.
In Western countries, there are not so many brahmacharis.
In the Western countries, there are not so many brahmacharis.
Prabhupada was giving a lecture at his Vyas Puja in Bury, London.
Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture on his Vyasa Puja in London,
And he told the grihasthas, they should all be paramahamsas.
and he told all his grihasthas that they should be paramahamsas
And that they should have acharyas as children.
and that they should have acharyas as children.
Pretty high bar.
That's a pretty high bar.
So, but this way, Prabhupada had a very high vision.
In this way, Prabhupada had very high vision.
So he wanted the grihasthas to become perfect devotees.
We want the grihasthas to become perfect devotees.
Even Madhavendra Puri, he was a grihastha before.
Even Madhavendra Puri, he was a grihastha before.
He had called children. One was named Krishnadas. He became their profound preacher.
One of them, he had a couple of children. One of them was Vishnudas. He became a preacher,
Profound preacher.
profound preacher.
Then we know that Mother Rui took sannyas and became the guru of the guru Lord Chaitanya.
Then we know that Madhavendra Puri took sannyas and became the guru of Lord Chaitanya.
So like this, I hope you enjoyed the presentation by Chaitanya Avatar.
So like this, I hope that you enjoyed the presentation by Chaitanya Avatari Das.
We have, I don't know if they're here, we have some videos like about Manjari Roads, Town Hall, Artist House. We have videos on everything.
We have videos on everything. We have videos on manjaris. We have videos on bhakti steps. We have videos on namahatas. We have videos on everything. I don't know if they have got them here.
Are they on the website?
Are they on the website? Some of them are on the website.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Me or Chaitanya Avatar?
Either to me or to Chaitanya Avatari? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you, Chaitanya Avatari Prabhu. My question is for Chaitanya Avatari Prabhu. You were presenting this funnel, and I'm wondering where was initiation that a devotee receives, for example, Harinam initiation in this pyramid or this funnel?
He was showing different funnels. So he's asking where is initiation in the funnel.
Thank you. Thanks for the question, Prabhu. So when we run this training program, that we have different steps. When you categorize them into contacts, then we get them, cultivate them through Manjari programs. That's when the first
Just for a picture.
Yeah, the pyramid. Or either one, they're the same.
Either one. So when the contacts, I'll take you through it. So here is the contact. You categorize them, then get them slowly to interact your connection. That's when you introduce them to a Manjari program. Then you get them to congregate. As you congregate, which is actually happens through a small group programs. As they go through the congregation program regularly, that's when you slowly introduce them to the Bhakti Viksha levels. The Bhakti Viksha levels has got 6 levels: Shraddhavan, Sevak, Sadhak, Prabhupada Ashraya, Ashraya, and Guru Ashraya, and initiation. This is complete between this commitment level and the certification level. As they grow through each of this level, they get certified. So if you have just completed 7 or 8 lessons in level 1, you can encourage them by awarding a certificate. So like that, they go through the 6 stages. When they reach the 6th stage, they on their own are guided. They can choose their spiritual master. And when they reach the 6th stage, they know what are the basic philosophy, practice, standards, all that through this Bhakti Viksha programs. So when they choose a guru and they take initiation, they are good to go in terms of after going through this lessons in the Bhakti Viksha. They can choose whatever services they want. They want to become a preacher, they want to become a book distributor, they want to become a pujari, they want to cook. All those services are actually available to them through proper guidance. So when they reach the 6th level, they are matured enough to decide whether they want to accept somebody as a guru or they can take help from seniors, temple presidents, all of them are available. So after
I
that,
see.
then they go through the complete perfection stage, that they go through different levels, John, 9 stages of bhakti and attain perfection.
I see. Yeah. Thank you for explaining that. The reason I ask is because it seems like initiation is kind of happening in the 6th stage of complete perfection. But one challenge I've seen when I was living in America was often devotees would take initiation, but really we think of initiation as more of like a new beginning, like another in one sense I'm back to stage 1 again, and I have to go keep working upward. And we see devotees who they struggle to continue after that because initiation is presented as like the perfect achievement, but then you don't feel like I'm perfectly Krishna conscious, and sometimes devotees end up going back into material life. There's some turnover, with devotees taking initiation. So I'm wondering if the congregational ministry is doing something to do like a new pyramid for devotees after taking initiation, but initiation is now at the bottom because that's the beginning of real spiritual life, and then going upwards and upwards, that's another aspect of congregational, maybe not congregational expansion, but congregational deepening and development. Is that happening in the congregational ministry?
Many places is there. Again, see, I'll tell you that based on the profile of the devotees. Now, in a matured congregation or a matured temple, that where you have many congregation practicing for many years, and as I said, I didn't purposely insert care in this because at every stage here, care is inbuilt. Without care, you can't just take them through any of these stages. So when we have a strategy built with care, either through a Manjari facilitator or a Bhakti Vriksha facilitator and Namahata facilitator, or subsequently, when you go through these 6 stages, once you accept a spiritual master, many of the matured models, what they do is they go through this stages. First, they introduce the members to a Manjari program. Then once they study, they are regularly, you build a relationship with the member, is ready to commit to regularly come for the Bhakti Vriksha program, which is more than 2.5 hours. So they come and regularly, apart from Bhakti Vriksha, they also like to offer themselves for additional day or 2 so that they get more dosage of Krishna consciousness. When they reach a stage that they are under proper guidance, they're doing many services, they are already reading Bhagavad Gita systematically. And once they reach this Bhakti Vriksha portions, and either it can happen before initiation or after initiation, it really doesn't matter. But the next progression is you can push them through Bhakti Shastri. So there's more systematic study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And then subsequently, many degrees are now available. So it's all under some guidance so that they don't get spaced out. I become Bhakti Shastri, I become Bhakti Vaibhav, I'm a senior leader. This is a big problem for us in ISKCON. Everybody is a senior, there is no junior devotees today. Yeah, so somebody is controlling the queue. Okay, here, Prabhu. Somebody.
Is this congregation development program effective for the college students as well?
Yes.
Has somebody tried with the college students, Bhakti Shastri
Yes, we are running college programs. See, the curriculum is available for you. And based on the profile of the people, you can just increase more Krishna consciousness and monitor and meter dosage of Krishna consciousness.
What do we call it? We call it as a Bhakti Shastri. Even for new college students, there's a Bhakti Shastri program. No, not Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vriksha.
See, now, how you call it doesn't matter, because in universities, they call spiritual club or what they call yoga club.
Curriculum same levels and curriculum.
We didn't have to tell them that what we're doing, but then in the universities, they just have only one tag assigned saying that you have yoga club or spiritual club. So you get in and just see, you run this program. It is basically the Bhakti Vriksha program. Why it is very effective is that you are making it interactive. There's a lot of psychology built into it. When I make you speak, you never forget. So we have nice lessons there involved. So you run this lesson, you make them interact. When they interact, they never forget.
And like this certificates like Shraddhavan and all these certificates also?
Yes. All these things can be administered. And as long as if there is somebody's standalone place, say for example in some place, remote part of the world, in the university some students are there. So you can encourage, offer some certificate.
And should we, like, if the number is big, should we compulsorily divide that number into smaller groups?
Well, at this stage, it's not important. But when you reach a Bhakti Vriksha stage, it's very important because interaction is it's integral part of Bhakti Vriksha. If you miss the interaction, Bhakti Vriksha will not be effective.
So how many ideally?
Maximum 15.
15 people
Yeah,
maximum.
And not less than 8. Otherwise, it will become an interview. You ask question, they answer. It has to be interactive.
So online setting also, Prabhuji?
Online setting is also available. But it's not, in our experience, the online setting is not so effective, but then we still run because so many people are interested, but we don't want to disappoint them. What I can achieve face-to-face, 100%, if you ask me, if we run the same online Bhakti Vriksha program, if I achieve 60 to 75% of that output, I'm done.
So now you mentioned that same program is called as Manjari in just a shorter time.
Manjari is a shorter program. That's not Bhakti Vriksha. It's a 1 hour program.
Shorter is only time duration, but
Yes.
the modules are same?
No, modules different.
Totally different. But it's also 1 year curriculum?
That is 6 months to 8 months.
But the results are also like similar?
Exactly. They'll go through the same pyramid.
Okay.
See, the main thing is that, as Prabhu said earlier, when we first started the Bhakti Vriksha, it used to be a 2.5 hour program. Not everybody is ready to give that much time. And especially they get overwhelmed when they think that, oh, every week I have to give 2.5 hours. And they get overwhelmed by that. They don't want to commit that. So we go through these steps. Say somebody is ready to give 15 to 20 minutes, over a period of time. From the contacts, how do we cultivate? We start sending them short Bhagavad Gita quotes or some quotes from, any book of Srila Prabhupada. And so when they start reading it, and then they start getting interested and they want to ask questions and they want to know more. And then those kind of people we shortlist and then we take them to the Manjari programs, which is not more than 45 minutes to 60 minutes. So if somebody is ready to give 15 minutes to 20 minutes, so that means they can go to 30 minutes to 60 minutes. So for such people, we start the Manjari programs. So Manjari programs is basically where somebody is ready to give 1 hour, but not more than that. And then over a period of so in Manjari programs, we have, as we said, Gita learning program, or in that we also have Gita Mahatmya programs. So like say 1 week, we take the Gita learning program where we give the short introduction about first chapter. Then the next week, we talk about the glories of the first chapter. So like that may go up to maybe 36 weeks. So they are interested. And then we also have something called the Power Series, where we talk about the power of association, the power of the mind, the power of habits. So like that we have around 22 topics we have. So that we start up like a secular topic, these power series topics. And then we imbibe in that the Krishna conscious thoughts in that. So like that when they become interested, then slowly we identify in that group who are those people who are very enthusiastic. We induct them into the Bhakti Vriksha programs. And this Bhakti Vriksha program is for 2.5 hours. And then in the Bhakti Vriksha, they slowly advance. So first module is Shraddhavan, where we have 8 lessons. So once they finish the 8 lessons, then we give them the certificate. And then we say, okay, if you are interested to continue, then we have the next set. So generally, because each lesson is linked with the previous lesson, they generally would want to continue. And because they have been in this process for almost 36 weeks to 40 weeks, they already have got a taste for Krishna consciousness. So then when they come to the Bhakti Vriksha, the chances of these people dropping out of the Bhakti Vriksha is very less, because we have chosen them. And they have chosen to be there because they want to learn more. It's not like, before ask, before we start the Bhakti Vriksha, in a very informal atmosphere, we ask each person if they would be ready to come for the Bhakti Vriksha program. We don't ask in a group, because the group dynamism, if one person says no, everybody would say no. So we will talk to them and then take their commitment, and then we start the Bhakti Vriksha program. And in our experience, not many fallouts have been there if we go through like this. So it's been a quite successful program.
So before Bhakti Vriksha, we should do some initial.
Yes, it's like increasing their Sukriti. See, when people don't have Sukriti, they have very less Sukriti, then they don't give much time for Krishna consciousness. So it's all about increasing the Sukriti. So when you talk, and then also there are so many other things which play in that, how to increase the Sukriti of the members. So where we have a detailed presentation, in that we would deal with that. Of course, because of paucity of time, we didn't talk about those things here.
Okay. I'm from Pune, actually.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. I was just wanting to add some more experiences from Bhaktivedanta Manor around Bhakti Vriksha and implementation of Bhakti Vriksha, especially when the questions came about how we move devotees forward through this process. And in our experiences, what we found is that it is quite a progressive way. And each step here that's been described on this funnel, they are more like cyclical. So you'd see cultivation happens throughout. You see congregation development happens throughout. You see their commitment increasing throughout, like that. And so when they come to the stages of certification and completion, what happens is that they're already within the mindset of initiation. They already know what initiation means. And by that time, they know what is initiation. It doesn't mean that that's when everything is done and we initiate it, that's finished. It means it's the start for them. And then after that, there's level 2s and so on and so forth like this. So there's obviously a wonderful program in terms of taking devotees forward in their various degrees of Sukriti building, or their various degrees of experience in progression through this process of congregation development.
Thank you. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful presentation. Prabhu, I have a question. Sometimes we have devotees who doesn't want to be serious, just want to come and go. So if you push them, they may leave. If you don't cultivate them, they'll be kind of come and go. So this kind of devotee, Prabhu, from your experience, how we can cultivate them without them knowingly, so that, like what Mataji said, we can increase their Sukriti so that eventually they will come into this program. From your experience, Prabhu.
So there are many ways we tried based on the profile of the person. There are some devotees, how much we try, they're very rigid. So we appreciate anyway they come and have prasadam and go. There are people who come for 10 years, not moving an inch in spiritual advancement. So, but still, if you don't care for them, there's nobody to care for them. So we know small services we engage them. In our festivals, it's a known person, so we give some responsibility. So they will do some service. So we can't discard them. But we should ensure these members should not corrupt other members who are enthusiastic. That we need to explain to them, saying, okay, nice, that if you're not interested, it's fine, that you can come and whatever. They are interested, they have a different taste. So we have a specific plan for you and they have a different plan for you. Just make it very open, in a nice way communicate, so that they also understand, okay, I have my freedom. So they have that assurance from you that, okay, so nobody will object as long as I'm here like that. But over a period of time, what I can't do, maybe somebody else can do. They come and just inspire them. Krishna himself can inspire such people overnight, they change. And I have, after 20 years or 25 years, last week one devotee, after 25 years, he was a devotee first. His wife is also practicing Krishna conscious for almost for 20 years. This week, he allowed his wife to take initiation. It's a big thing. So his wife was crying, my husband is allowed to take me initiation. I said, oh. Somebody said that, it's like achieving a goal's life's ultimate goal, initiation. So like that, there are a couple of them are there. But they come very dedicatedly, they come, they contribute Lakshmi for the festival, they offer services, but you ask them to move a little further, they don't like it. They also chant 16 hours. Some people are there like that. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I am from ISKCON Bhadrak. Last year you have visited with your team.
Correct.
Our problem is that during 80s and 90s, we had many Namhat centers, direct inspiration of Guru Maharaj. But the existing members there became older, and the new generation, they are not interested in Namhat program. How can we replace them how can we teach them in advanced work?
See, what we have done, I don't know, maybe 10 years or 15 years back, for Namhat also we tried helping. So, Padmanitra Prabhu. Because what happens in Namhata programs, as you rightly said, they also wanted to convert into Bhakti Viksha programs. Jayapataka Maharaj said, no. That is the urban population. For the rural population, Namhata works because they can't interact. So what we've done, that we offered a solution for Namhata director, that these lessons can be converted to a regular class. Say, we have 72 lessons. So, any Namahata preacher goes to a particular village or a particular Namahata center, he would go deliver that 6th lesson. So, after all that gap, next preacher goes there, he would take the next one. So that there's a continuity in their learning. Though it's a material same, so the systematic material, and they will also be interested in systematically learning various lessons. Maybe we should also check with Padmanitra Prabhu. Many years back, he said he's implemented it successfully. He's implemented. He translated the whole thing after modification in Bengali. So like that, you can also adopt. We can help you if you want.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Okay, so we have a congregation development ministry stall down there, and here also. Where is the table? At the back, there is a table. There's also a stall when you go out. When you go out this way on the left side, first at the exit point, there are congregation ministry stall. Please pick up your valuable material for your congregation development needs. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Kodi Vaishnavanda ki, Gaura Premanande.